Hi.
I was away with the fairies. Hello, everybody. Hello, welcome. Welcome.
How is everybody? Keeping warm? Managing to stay warm?
With a t-shirt.
Just about. Yeah, I'm almost there, I think. Yeah.
I mean, I've been working hard today, so,
Really? Is that even like happen?
listen, right. I haven't said, I work hard sometimes, right? Don't use the word sometimes. Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. No, yeah, it's been a good week, I think. Had a lovely time off last week. Thanks for asking. Uh,
Good.
yeah,
We hadn't missed you. It's fine.
well, no, I noticed she's just did a video without me anyway. So, but yeah, lovely time down in Cornwall. It was really nice. Good to get away. So, but I'm back now. Yay! Looking forward to the autumn and the run up to Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Cool.
that's a lot
So
of fun.
we have some discussion questions. Do you want to do that first
We
before
do well. I mean, first of all, we should probably tell them the theme
Yeah. That'd be
rather than yeah. So get some
it's
questions.
this.
Yeah. So okay. So I'll tell them the theme, Chloe, and then you can do the questions. So yeah, today we are continuing on our what's the final one in our worship series, and we are looking at worship and service. So actually, Chloe, I think that's probably a good time to maybe define what do we mean by service.
Okay, so the dictionary definition of uh, service means action of helping or doing work for someone. So doing something for someone. You're serving them in that way. Because we realise there's lots of words for service or lots of meanings of the word service.
Do I get to list all the ones I worked out?
No.
I had at least three. So yeah, so as Chloe said earlier, we've got some discussion questions for you, which will pop up on the screen. And yeah, just with the people you're watching this video with, have a little chat. You might learn something new about some of these people. So here you go.
Cool. So we hope you enjoyed discussing these questions and whether you learned something new about someone who you've been chatting with. So yeah, we're looking at worship through acts of service and how we can worship through our service. So Matt, how can we kind of link the two together, do you think?
Okay, so using your definition that you said before the questions about service being the action of helping or working or doing something for someone, doing some work for someone. Um, I guess when we think about that and worship, um, it's almost the why we do it, isn't it? It's almost the like, yeah, I'm helping out with something, but why do I do it? And do I do it because I want to make myself feel good, or is it that actually I'm doing it because I know that God would do this for me, and so I'm going to do it for someone else as an act of worship? I think yeah, I think the worship almost answers the question why do we serve? If that helps.
Mm-hmm. We'll find out.
There's a good Bible passage on this, guys, linking worship and service. It's Matthew 25, verses 34 to 40. It's the story of the sheep and the goats, and we really encourage you to read it yourself. But I'm going to read a bit of it to you now. So, then the king will say to those on his right, "Come, you are blessed. Come, you who are blessed by the Father, take your inheritance, the kingdom prepared for you since the creation of the world. For I was hungry, and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty, and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger, and you invited me in. I needed clothes, and you clothed me. I was ill, and you looked after me. I was in prison, and you came to visit me." Then the righteous will answer him, "Lord, when did we see you hungry? When did we see you hungry and feed you, or thirsty and give you something to drink? When did we see you a stranger and invite you in, or needing clothes and clothe you? When did we see you ill or in prison and go to visit you?" The king will reply, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me."
that's spot on, isn't it? That whole that kind of really, yeah, Rachel, that's really kind of hits the spot, doesn't it? Like whenever we kind of are doing these kind of acts of service of as worship, like it doesn't matter who it is, like whoever it is, whether it's the kind of best person in the world or the worst person in the world, like we're doing it because God loves those people. He loves everyone, and anything that we kind of do to help out those people, God says, you're doing that for me as well. That's it. Good verse, Rachel. Good verse.
Yeah, thanks. So we thought that as part of this video, we would ask some of our other leaders and volunteers why and how they serve and how that service helps them to worship God. Because we have lots of our volunteers work for church, but they also work for other Christian organisations as well. So we have a few people that we're going to ask, and the first of those is Rachel. So Rachel, you've helped out. Some of you may or may not know. Rachel helps out in creche when it is running, helping us now, and you do some other things. Why did you decide to help out at creche and that sort of thing?
Well, I decided to help out because I just enjoy working with children, and I think that God gave me the skill to enjoy working with people and children, and I want to be able to help them so they can so I can pass on skills, so then in the future that they can learn new skills and they can then help other people. So
I like it. And I guess maybe the second question would be like, how does it help you worship? Yeah.
Well, it reminds me to be thankful, and just be thankful to God for kind of all the skills, like the different skills He's given to different people, so that we can all kind of use them together, so we can just help people that need it, or just help.
Yeah, it's cool, isn't it, to be you're worshipping God because you're being thankful for what He's gifted you to be able to serve others.
Cool. So we've got like I said, we've asked some of our other leaders and volunteers to just kind of share a little bit about where they serve and how it helps them worship. So here you go.
Hello. Chloe has asked me to talk a little bit about Food Bank today. So she had two questions for me. One, why do I serve at Food Bank? And the second is, how do I worship God through working at Food Bank? So why do I work at Food Bank? I've been volunteering at Food Bank for quite a few years, and then recently I've been given a job to assist Phil in the running of the food bank, which is great. The reason I volunteered and that I wanted this job is really to do with the reasons why Food Bank exists. So Food Bank exists simply to provide food for people in our community who don't have enough money to buy food for themselves and their families. And I think that's a really important thing for us to be involved with as a church and as a community, helping those for whom life is difficult for lots of different reasons, which has meant that they've got to a place where they don't have enough money for themselves. They might be struggling to find work, they might be ill, they might have had real difficulties within their families, and Food Bank can help them while life is difficult by providing them food, and I think that's a really good thing to do. So that's why I have been involved with it.
Hi, I'm Dan. I work for CAP here at head office in Bradford in the facilities team. So despite not being on the front line, I find it a real blessing and the opportunity to be able to serve at this charity as they seek to serve the poor and the lost. So whether it be a big or a small role, it's a real privilege to be able to serve this charity. With regards to worship, it's an absolute blessing to be able to work for the charity and what they give. You know, whether it be 300 or 1,000 at CAP conferences where we worship together, down to 2 or 3 praying together, or even just some spiritual time that we get by ourselves, that I can just take myself away and really worship the Father and just spend some time with him.
The second question that Chloe asked me was to do with how serving or working at Food Bank helps me worship God. And I guess I've got 2 answers to that question. The first is to do with the fact that any kind of work we do can be worship to God. So, you know, whether that is cooking a meal or doing our schoolwork, or at Food Bank it's often putting tins on shelves and food in parcels and delivering parcels, or working well as a team with Phil and our wonderful large team of volunteers that we have now. Doing any of that well can be a way of worshipping God. The specifics of Food Bank for me and how that helps me worship God is to also to do with one of the characteristics of God that I think is wonderful. So I think the God that I love and worship values everybody. We read about him in the Bible, and the things that we believe about God really speak to me about the fact that God values all people. So whatever situation people are in, God still loves and values them, whether they are well or ill, whether they're rich or poor, whether their life has been easy, whether their life has been really difficult, whether they've made some maybe not very sensible decisions in their lives. God still values people, whatever their lives have been like and are like. And at Food Bank, we really have the opportunity to show people who maybe don't feel very valued by society or other people that they do still have value, because we are happy to provide them with food when their lives are difficult.
This is the Keeble's Random Acts of Kindness.
Talk to someone you don't know as well as you could at school.
Have a hug. They can donate cookies to people who live around you.
Make someone a drink.
Buy a present for someone when it's not their birthday. Share treats with friends and family.
Write a note for at lunch as a surprise for the person who eats the lunch.
Call anyone you know.